Hey guys, welcome back to episode 102 of the Sim Racing Show, and this week Gran Turismo 7 is getting another free update, but not everyone is happy because Kaz has teased another 3 cars, and that's not what people are really waiting for anymore, because right now the real conversation about Gran Turismo 7 is one thing: where is Spec 4? We'll break it down in just a second. Assetto Corsa EVO has dropped a major update with new cars, a legendary track, and a feature that could change the online racing. Euro Truck Simulator 2 is expanding again in a surprising new direction. There's a big move happening behind the scenes at Asetek, and we've also got updates from SnowRunner, Fallen Legends, and more. Let's get into it, because Kazunori Yamauchi has teased another 3 cars set for Gran Turismo 7's next free update, and even though nothing's officially confirmed yet, the shapes look like what we're getting is a very Gran Turismo 7-esque mix. It's probably a first-gen Renault Twingo, the Wang U9 Extreme, and some kind of maybe Porsche 964 shape. But here's where things get spicy, because a bunch of fans are already calling it that the Porsche could be the legendary rough CTR Yellowbird, the one from the famous 1987 Nordschleife video. And if that's true, that is going to be one of those cars that people do boot up the game for instantly. And the contrast is, let's be honest, hilarious. On one side you've got the Twingo, the tiny French city car that does have meme potential. On the other hand, you've got the Wang, which is a completely unhinged, roughly 3,000 horsepower electric hypercar from China. You might have seen the videos on YouTube. Nice to get new cars and races, but to be honest, most people are saying that we're still circling the real conversation, which is that it's another kind of like refresher of GT7, another 3 cars just to tide us over, when everyone really wants to understand about that Spec 4 update, the proper game-changing update where Polyphony finally tackles the biggest stuff people have been shouting about for years: sport mode fixes, single player improvements, VR HUD, for example, the stuff that actually changes how GT7 feels long term. However, I would say, I feel like we need to give Gran Turismo 7 some credit here. There are very few games in gaming, let alone sim racing or racing, that have consistently delivered so many free updates as GT7. Now, whether they should have included some of these in the game at launch, whether this is the right way of doing the game, I do want to tip my hat a little bit to the free content that we get. And if you're someone that isn't listening to all of the noise online and you've got GT7, that's your main game, then this is fantastic for you. It's just more content. You're not paying for it, so you can decide whether to drive it or not. So I just wanted to mention that. Now, if you want new, better cars though, let's be honest, Assetto Corsa EVO just gave us exactly that with version 0.6, because that has now landed. So 6 cars, 1 new track, and Sebring is the headline, because Sebring in a sim is all about the bumps, really, the atmosphere, that kind of like gritty vibe, low horizon. It feels like kind of hard to pick out the corners, some big curbs. And the version in EVO is definitely not bad. It does feel like you can feel the heat through the sim. I still think iRacing's version is really good, really punishing, but EVO is definitely not bad. So it's great that Sebring is. That's a proper challenging, tough circuit. Car-wise, they also added the Ford Mustang GT3 and the Ferrari 296 GT3, which is already in Gran Turismo. And you've got the Audi R8 LMS GT4 EVO in there. I remember at G7's launch, the GT3 Audi LMS EVO was the big car there. So it's kind of interesting how things are a bit circular. So the content is a nice spread. There's also a old school Ferrari GTO and the Countach in there as well. But the bigger EVO story is probably not actually the cars. It's the update itself, because self-hosted servers are now a thing. I've been campaigning for this since day one. So thank you so much if you've been campaigning with me. Mods, self-hosted servers, that's what makes Assetto Corsa. I'm driving Assetto Corsa to this day. In 2026, I'm driving Assetto Corsa, the original one. Why? Because I'm driving my car in real life at tracks, and I want to practice in the sim, and the best way to do that is in Assetto Corsa at the moment. But now with this update to EVO, it means that the community can run their own EVO servers for free, which is going to be massive for online racing long term. More lobbies, more options, more organised racing without waiting for the official sluggish setup to carry everything. And it wasn't just that either. There's been more optimization work, more physics tweaks, and they've reworked the controller mapping system to make it less painful. So even if you don't care about every car in the download, this update is still definitely pushing EVO, in my opinion, in the right direction. Let me know what you think in the comments though. And while EVO is adding tracks and fixing infrastructure, the endless content crown though has to be firmly held by the chillest genre in gaming, which is truck sims, because Euro Truck Simulator 2 is already in the 1.59 beta phase, but SCS also dropped a proper DLC tease, which is Turkey. It's called the Soul of Anatolia DLC, and it's covering a big chunk of Turkey's Asian side, joining the European side of the country already available in the Road to the Black Sea DLC. So could this mean a further foray into Asia and future DLCs? Does it start to get a bit political? Euro Truck Simulator going into the Asian part of Turkey. Oh my god, we will see. They also mentioned, by the way, that console versions are still moving, but slowly. To me, it's kind of sounding like 2027 now, which is a bit of a shame because I've been really excited for Euro Truck Simulator coming to console in 2026, but I wouldn't hang my hat on that at the moment. Let me know in the comments, by the way, are you interested in Euro Truck Simulator? You probably hear me talk about it a lot in the Sim Racing Show. Let me know if you want me to do something with SES where we can kind of like investigate that game a little bit more. I do have the Moza truck wheel, which is probably the perfect wheel to use with Euro Truck Simulator. Now, staying on the bigger plans for the future theme, there's a major business move happening in the sim racing hardware space too, because the Asetek Takeover deal is moving into the final stage very soon, as I understand it, with Andre Eriksson, the CEO, assuring customers that he will continue to oversee the business. The deal involves a big Chinese electronics group, Shuzhou Shunqi Electronic Technology, also known as CQ, I believe. And from a sim racing perspective, the interesting angle is that this could mean, if you're positive, more scale, more resources, more production muscle, potentially more competitive pricing and broader product plans. Dare I say, maybe think Moza with like Asetek design. Maybe no company is going to be happy with me saying that, but maybe think like that. That's the positive. Obviously, the negative is maybe CQ are really in there for the PC cooling stuff. Anyway, I flew out to Las Vegas. I spoke with the CEO of Asetek, Andre Eriksson, so definitely go watch that video if you want to get the lowdown. Now, speaking of hardware, I do want to mention as well, my site, SimRigger, www.simrigger.com, is working really well. Like, a lot of you guys are using it. If you haven't checked out for a while, you haven't checked out at all, go to simrigger.com. Remember, that's my site. It has live product data from the big brands and live pricing and pricing tracking history, so you can check that you're getting the right deals. So I would say it's a really good website because I made it, but go check it out. If I have an affiliate or a discount, it should be plugged in, but there's also a load of brands there why I don't. It's just about getting you the more transparency and the best pricing when it comes to buying your sim racing gear. And now on to another game that just keeps going no matter what. We're speaking about the big persistent games here, GT7, Euro Truck Simulator, and now SnowRunner, because that has passed 20 million players. 20 million players, which is mad for a game that originally dropped back in 2020, but let's look at the recipe of success here. Tons of mod support, constant DLC, licensed vehicles, new regions, and this keeps the formula fresh to this day. We should see more games take that approach in sim racing, in my perspective. The game is available on multiple consoles with a Switch 2 version apparently on the way as well. It's one of those games where people are comfortable, I think, leaving it for a long time and then coming back to check out a new track or new map, just do like a one more run session that turns into a 3-hour battle with the mud. So let me know, you still playing SnowRunner in 2026? Is it something you want me to check out? Let me know in the comments. And now a little curveball for the open wheel crowd, because Formula Legends is about to get very electric because it's officially adding Formula E content. They've announced a proper Formula E crossover pack called Formula E Electric Evolution, and it's bringing 3 generations of Formula E cars into the game, which is great. On top of that, it's adding 6 real-world Formula E tracks, and they're building in attack mode into each one. So it's not just visual branding, they're trying to like replicate the actual dynamics of Formula E. Comes out April 30th for $7.99. So if you like Formula Legends already, this is about to give it a complete different vibe. And if you like Formula E, go check out, I've interviewed every single driver basically in Formula E. I go to the races, that's either on this channel or my Motorsport channel, which is called Formula Fan TV. I'll drop a link in the description. If you want to check out my Motorsport interviews, go check that out. You might absolutely love it. But thanks so much for watching the Sim Racing Show, and I'll see you next week.